Minister of Industry, Trade, Tourism, Local Government, Housing and Community Development. Can the Honourable Minister brief Parliament on how the master planning of Greater Suva and then Lautoka will minimize the need to resume? Thank you, Honourable Speakers.
Honourable members, I give the floor to the Minister for Industry, Trade, Tourism, Local Government, Housing and Community Development, the Honourable Pramila Kumar. You have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The Department of Town and Country Planning for the calendar year 2019 had received a total of 401 rezoning applications. The Western Division had the highest number of rezoning applications, where Town and Country Planning received about 166 applications, closely followed by the Central Eastern Division with 157 and 68 for the Northern Division. So we can see there is a lot of applications being received by Town and Country Planning for rezoning. Mr. Speaker, sir, while these statistics are a good indicator to gauge a number of land development-based investment, however, there is a need to streamline land use and future growth of strategic areas in the country to ensure that both foreign and local investors are not subjected to cumbersome processes. Mr. Speaker, sir, to address the issue of timelines and to support the ease of doing business objectives, the government has engaged the services of the Singapore Corporation Enterprise, who are in the process of refining the concept master plan for the Greater Suva, Nandi and Lautoka areas. Once completed by mid this year, this dynamic and long-term planning document will provide a blueprint to guide future growth and development up till 2075. Mr. Speaker, sir, the master plan will identify land use for agriculture, commercial, industrial, residential, tourism-related activities, and where it is best located. So this will require a lot of data analysis, and various old plans needs to be taken out, studied before the areas are identified for various land use purposes. Growing population not only need land for housing, but for manufacturing and doing business as well. There is a shortage of such land which will require land to be rezoned from rural to urban use and also to be subdivided into different allotments. Mr. Speaker, sir, upon the completion of the master plan this year, work on the revision of the outdated town planning scheme for municipalities such as Suva, Nandi and Lautoka can commence. Normally the city and town schemes are valid for 20 years. Suva and Lautoka town planning, or you can call it city schemes, are really old. The last time it was done was in the year 1978. Until now, the schemes are not updated. And that's why there is a demand for large number of rezoning to be done. Similarly, Singatoka, the last scheme plan that we have was done in 1977. So really, these are totally outdated scheme plans. And we can only renew or revise the schemes based on the master plan that is being done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me the floor.
Thank you. Honourable Moses Mbulita, we have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm of the knowledge that the government had hired the architect of modern Singapore in designing this master plan, and also the timeline that will take. And I'm also aware that they're in stage 2 of the planning. What is the cost of the whole exercise and the plan conducted by the Singapore company in trying to convert Fiji into something like what they did in Singapore 20 years ago, and the plans that they did, and what consultation has been done in terms of these areas, and also this putting together these plans with those that will be affected, especially the residents, and also looking into the traffic that we have and the issues that we have when we come into Greater Suva area.
Thank you. Honourable Minister, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Honorable Bulitabo has posed two questions. The first one is on the cost, and the second one is on consultation. In terms of cost, because I don't control the purse, so I will leave that question to Minister of Economy, or we can answer that at a later stage. For consultation, this is the preparatory phase. Preparatory phase, as I said, requires data collection, data cleansing, and conforming to the old plans. You have to get all this information. Consultation has started with the various government agencies in getting all this information together before a draft master plan can be out. Once the draft master plan is out, that's when the consultation will begin with the community. So that is the process involved in that exercise.
Thank you. Honorable Micheli. Noda, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Just a short question. How will this master plan help the people who want to do business and development of other lands for rezoning? The application for rezoning is always take time. How will this help these developers so that the return time in application for rezoning is shorter rather than getting longer all the time?
Thank you. Honorable Minister, you have the floor.
So, as I said, when you have an outdated scheme plans, Mr. Speaker, sir, you cannot really quickly get the rezoning done because there is a whole process to be followed. And the process is suspension of the scheme plan, followed by advertisements that come out in the paper. Then there is an objection period. Then there is an appeal process. That's why it takes so long. So what I'm trying to say here is that if we have a master plan, the area will be zoned. So that area, whichever area, it can be zoned residential, it can be zoned commercial. So investors, whether local or foreign, they can look at the scheme plan and they'll know precisely that they can do business in this particular area without having to apply for the rezoning. So that's how it will assist in speeding up the rezoning.
Thank you. We'll move on. For the sixth oral question for today, give the floor to the Honorable